Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for dropping in. In today's video, we're back on the test server here and we're gonna do some more testing with some of the new fancy champions here. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about Vizug the Noxious, from Ogren tribes. So as a standalone champion, this champion looks really good. And let's go over his kit real quick. His A1, attack all enemies, has a 50% chance when fully booked to instantly activate any poison or HP burn on an enemy. So a detonator on his A1, it's also an AoE. So you could potentially put him in, for example, a stun set to get through faction wars, or potentially a hex set to do Hydra content, for example. But a detonator on A1 AoE looks very promising. His A2, Vengefire, 4-turn cooldown down to 3 turns, 100% chance to place 2 poisons, big poisons, and an HP burn. That is really nice. If you guys will recall, the Fat Man deals a single target move with basically the same debuffs. This is an AoE, which is just insane for in terms of like power creep, I guess. I mean, Vizug is a legendary versus Fat Man, which is a single epic. But this move is really good. And if you wanted to compare it against a legendary champion, let's look at Theodore the Savant. His A2 is 100% chance to place 2 big poisons and a poison sensitivity. Also places increased speed on all allies. So his A2 seems even crazier than Vizug's, which is 2 poisons and HP burn. So Theodore places the sensitivity plus the increased speed buff as well. So I would say the A2 on Theodore's is a little bit stronger, but Vizug's very strong A2. Coming into his A3 here, again 3-turn cooldown when fully booked. AoE again, before attacking, places increased accuracy on everybody. That's great. Then increase the duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 turn. Great. That's an extension on his HP burn and poisons, and also decrease the duration of all ally debuffs. So it's like a little bit of a Mikage-esque feel to it. Definitely very solid A3. And honestly, synergizes super well with the rest of his kit. He has 3 AoEs in his kit. Really cool. I love it. As for his faction unity bonuses, we'll check this out and how it applies later, but 1 ally gets 30% increased speed, so similar to like Theodore, he does place increased speed on the whole team. 2 allies, you get increased duration of all enemy debuffs by 2 turns, and then decreased duration of all ally debuffs by 2 turns. So now it's becoming more of a full cleanse, and then a even longer duration on the debuffs, so on the poisons and HP burns. So the chances of you stacking up those poisons and HP burns definitely increases. And then lastly, for 3 faction allies, it now becomes a heal based on the amount of debuffs duration that gets increased. So it's actually a pretty massive heal. And again, it synergizes really well with this kit. I really like this synergy for him. It's not as broken insane as you would imagine, like for example, when Aislinn was first introduced, and then people were thinking about Aislinn, Marichka, Taras, and how insane like block damage would be and all that stuff. You know, and it wasn't able to really break into the arena high-end meta. But I think this Vizug is actually really good for like PvE content, just because his kit does really synergize well, and it will probably go well in PvE. His passive, not particularly insane like the base one, so increases each ally's accuracy by 10 for each HP burn and poison debuff on the enemy. So if you're looking at 5 enemies and they have 3 debuffs each, so that's 150 accuracy, it's a pretty decent chunk. However, Vizug needs to have accuracy himself because he needs to land the debuffs, and then the passive will buff your team or buff himself. So it's kind of like you can't really get around the accuracy requirement there. I tried, but I can't. So it's a little bit not super crazy, but it'll give all your, for example, your nukers and stuff some extra accuracy if you want to land things like additional debuffs that they have in PvE content. It might be relevant. Not so much PvE here. And then he has the Unity, faction Unity bonuses. HP burn and poison debuffs placed by allies deal 30% more damage. That's pretty cool, actually. You guys will see it in action. His 2 faction allies increases damage dealt by allies by 5% for each HP burn. So now you're boosting your allies' power. And then his 3 faction allies, HP burn and poison debuffs cannot be removed, stolen, or transferred. Cool. That's cool. And then his aura, very relevant. HP in all battles, speed in all battles. Pretty relevant 2 stats there from him. Great base stats from him. 106 base speed, gets some resistance and accuracy as well. So I'm going to show you guys my Vizug and where I put him to use. Hopefully I can showcase how cool he is. Actually, I'm really interested in this guy. So here's my Vizug. I got him in basically standard like solo gear or solo farming gear. As soon as you look at his kit, placing poisons and all that stuff, he's going to be an absolute stud in places where Theodore is actually good, for example, like Dragon. So that's the natural place where you would place this guy. You could also use him in normal Ice Golem, for example. But we're going to try to focus on Dragon hard right now and see what he can do. He's also going to be extremely good in Hydra, just placing the debuffs and all that stuff. But he's not going to be like used super high end. But if you have him available, you can probably definitely use him for a damage dealer. But I think his main spot will probably be in Dragon. And to some extent, you probably could use him as an HP burner in Ice Golem as well. So we could definitely take a look there. But let's check out Dragon first. We got this gear set on him. He's in full regen, 274 speed, 80k HP, no blessings or anything like that. Of course, if you have a blessing, Brimstone would be the best since you're doing boss content. Got him with enough resistance and accuracy to do his stuff in Dragon. You probably want a little bit more resistance for some consistency. Maybe 430 would be fine, but I'm running with 417. Fully booked, of course, great value from books. Masteries, I ended up taking Oppressor because why not, for extra turn meter, extra healing. Extra healing here is good. Could have taken, I think these are probably ideal. Spirit Haste, since you're running with food, he gains some extra speed. Yeah, these look pretty ideal to me, but let's check them out in Dragon. All right, since he's magic affinity, we can run him in a couple places here. We can run him stage 5 for positive affinity, stage 6, stage 9 positive affinity, stage 10. I ran him in stage 10 and he gets absolutely obliterated because he doesn't have, first of all, he doesn't have enough damage to kill the dragon before the dragon kills him, even with the stats that I provided him. So if he had Brimstone or maybe like a 5-star blessing, so he gets accuracy and resistance, you can lighten up on some of the gear requirements and stack him with more speed and HP. You might be able to do solo hard 10 actually. But for this showcase, he doesn't have the Brimstone or the extra blessings for some more stats. So Dragon 6 here. For reference, I can do Dragon 4 hard with my Tomb Lord solo, and I can do Dragon 8 hard with my Theodore. So I'm going to do Dragon 6 here. It is Void Affinity, so it is useful for kind of testing some places. So I think he can perform pretty okay here. We're going to run with generic food here, but we will try him with Ogren tribes and then we'll see how powerful his boosts are. His boosts are pretty impressive, but we'll do Dragon 6 here. I did swap out one thing for him. I added a bit more HP in exchange for speed. So I'll show you guys the end stats here. But basically, yeah, I just subbed out 12 speed ascension from a boot for some more HP. And we can see how he goes here against the stage 6 mobs here, and we die again. Which means it's a little bit frustrating to try him in stage 6. Let's try him in stage 5 where he's positive affinity, and we'll try him out here. Hopefully he can do it, I think. I think he should be okay. His stats are quite good. I don't expect early game players to have the stats that I have on my gear, but having a little bit of difficulty here, running through, basically soaking up some damage, I guess, on this opening wave. But let's run this stage 5 here. Hopefully we can get the job done here. It looks pretty good. 22 seconds through the first wave. Looks pretty solid. Landing all the debuffs there. Strong affinity, of course. So this should be like one of the best stages for him. For some reason, stage 6 was not cooperating. I guess Void Affinity makes a big deal, obviously. The positive affinity here is really, really good for him just to survive and get through some of this. But his damage output is good. Damage output is good. HP burn, poisons. Let's see if we can kill the dragon here. Increase accuracy. Extensions. Extensions are kind of nice because the dragon's double turn happening and all that stuff. See, extensions are really nice actually. So if you had like brimstone and stuff, it definitely would go a lot faster against the dragon. You see here, he's stacking up pretty good with the extensions. Yeah, he does pretty good against the dragon actually. Yeah, good to see. Minute 22 on stage 5, full solo with food. So not too bad there. So maybe we try to tackle the positive affinities. Do we dare do 9? Let's do 9 without any bonuses, just by himself. Let's see what happens here. Obviously, you have to test for consistency, try them out over large sample size, of course. But we can kind of see how he does based on how many weak hits and all that stuff he gets. So here it's kind of a mixed weak hit. Not particularly good RNG, not particularly bad RNG. But it's getting kind of close. A little bit dicey, right? A little bit dicey. So if he had like a 1-star brimstone, that would be perfect. That's an extra 7.5k HP. I think that would be enough buffer to keep him alive. No problem. I mean, we're talking about hard 9 here, solo. So looking pretty solid so far. Let's see what's going to happen when we get to the boss. I don't think I ran it on 9 yet. But on 9, that means this would be better than my Theodore, who can farm 8 at 100% clip. Let's see how he does here against the dragon. The dragon dishes out massive damage quickly. He needs to start landing some of his HP burns and poisons, and then he needs to start extending them so that they stick. There we go, got one off. Dragon's ramping up his power. Yep. Got a weak hit there, so maybe a little bit lucky. Extension. Getting pretty close. I think that probably would have wiped him if it wasn't a weak hit. So, looking not that great. Yeah, looking not that great. Definitely would need Brimstone to be able to do stage 9 by himself. A little bit dicey there, so it's good to know, right? It's good to know with this testing. But let's try him with 4 Ogren tribes and see how it goes here. All right, so we reloaded up with 4 Ogren tribes here, getting the full faction bonus from his abilities here. So the biggest thing that can really impact this guy's ability to perform in Dragon is probably going to be the increased speed and then the healing, because obviously he's taking tons of damage out there and he needs ways to heal. The regen set doesn't look like it's enough, so maybe adding an immortal set would be helpful. But let's see what this guy can do. Basically at full strength. The protected buffs, really nice. And let's see how much damage, extra 30% damage can do actually. Big damage actually. Look at those big chunks getting chunked off there. Oh yeah, 1A1 activation probably kills them all. There you go. Yeah, really strong. They're 21 seconds through the first wave. We're talking hard 9 here, so this is not easy business here. So let's see. Resistance definitely needed for this build, unfortunately, just to protect yourself from some of these debuffs, decreased defense and turn meter drops and stuff. So here we go. 42 seconds to the boss. Really strong showing right now. And land it. There we go. Lands it. Extends it. Heals. The heal is really, really nice. Definitely going to increase his survivability. All right. There we go. Extend. Extend and heal. Really, really strong here. 1 minute and 13 seconds. Stage 9. Too bad it requires at least 3 Ogren tribes. That's the problem. At least 3 Ogren tribes to get the bonus from the faction guardians. From the faction unity for his skill. His A3, like I said, the biggest thing is the 3 faction allies here. Heals allies by this champion's max HP. Heal them by additional 2% for every debuff that has its duration increased. The heal is really important, right? Because he's taking so much damage. Maybe if you had good immortal gear and you could hit these stats. So these are base stats in the Dragon's Lair. Like look at this, 89, 268. Some pretty good base stats here. Obviously, if I had Brimstone or 1 star, it would be closer to 100k. Maybe that makes a difference. But yeah, he's pretty geared out, but will definitely struggle in Dragon 9. I wouldn't use him in Dragon 9 because of his inconsistency there. He definitely will cost you some runs. But Dragon 5 looks pretty safe. Dragon 5 looks very safe. And yeah, so Theodore would be better than him because Theodore can consistently farm Dragon 8. But Vizug's ceiling is probably higher. Let's take him into Dragon 10 and see how well he does. I don't think he's going to be able to do Dragon 10, but Dragon 9 looked pretty impressive. Let's see if we can do Dragon 10 here. But his damage output from the poisons is really, really nice. Really, really nice there. Oh, that Chagar. That Chagar is slapping. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Definitely cannot do Dragon 10. Yeah, that's tough. Can't really do anything about that. That's really tough. We'll try it again. Let's see here. That Chagar. Definitely hitting super hard. Increase attack, that's why. Where's the heals here? Let's go. Heal. There's the big heal. You see that heal? It's close. It was close. The A3 had to land at the right spot and him basically not to die. He had to be able to soak up that Chagar slam. Oh, there's Chagar again, slamming. Pretty close. Land the A3, big heal. Nice. I like it. The heal is pretty clutch. And it's pretty big. It's a pretty big heal. There's the heal again. Full heal. Yep. To the boss in 49 seconds. Let's see what he can do. Can he get there? I'll be interesting to see if he can actually make it. Obviously, this is a little bit of a lucky run. Getting resisted a little bit. It kind of sucks. Brings down the damage a little bit. Really needs to land the A2 right now. Ooh. Almost chunked him off there. Oh, the heal. Is it enough? Oh, he solos it. A minute 18 solo. 67 turns. Identical to his stage 9 clear. I mean, he did it, but is it going to be consistent? Is it something that you want to do all the time? Probably not, considering that he barely made it through the first 2 waves and then barely made it through the dragon. So, but we know it's capable. We know it's possible for him, right? If he had a better blessing, better stats, he could probably do it. Brimstone's going to speed up the fight, the boss encounter, but I think it's not doable without the ogren food. The ogren bonuses, because he needs the additional healing from the A3. But yeah, anyways guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the showcase and playthrough for Vizug the Noxious. I know we just tested him in Dragon, but I think that's probably one of the more challenging realistic content that he can tackle. Obviously he's going to crush like normal Ice Golem. He's going to be helpful in regular Ice Golem, but he's not going to be as good as Artak, for example, at taking care of the Ice Golem, but he can definitely support. He's going to be decent in Hydra as well, just dish out some damage. And of course for Faction Wars, he's going to crush it. In Arena, he's not going to be incredibly good or anything like that. But yeah, I figured Dragon would be the most reasonable place for him. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the playthrough on some of the difficulties to see what he is capable of and what my gear could do and what realistically you guys could pull off for yourselves. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Vizug. I think he's pretty cool. He has a spot in the game if you guys pull him. Definitely early. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.